Hello friends, welcome to today's session. I am a soft skill trainer from the Department of Career Planning and Development, Chandigarh University, and today we are taking up a topic based on tenses, and the topic is the past perfect tense. We will understand where we can use past perfect tense and how it is different from simple past tense or past indefinite tense. So let's start with this PPT. So we are going to discuss about past perfect tense. And what is this tense and how do we use it in English? So the meaning of past perfect tense is that some action is completed before something in the past. What does it mean? It means that it expresses the idea that something occurred before another action has taken place in the past. It can also show that something happened before a specific time in the past. And for the examples, let us see the first example. Completed action before something in the past. She only understood the movie before she had read the book. So what does it mean? If we take the example of the first sentence, this means two actions we are talking about. One is understanding the movie and the other is reading the book. So we are associating these two different actions by saying that one was possible only when the other was performed, right? So this means she only understood the movie, understood, so it is past, because she had read the book. This means she has already read the book in the past. So one action has already completed, right, in the past. Next example is, I had never seen such a beautiful sunset before I went to Hawaii. This means two actions again. Before I went to Hawaii, this means I had been to Hawaii before, and that's why I was able to see the beautiful sunset. So I had never seen such a beautiful sunset before I went to Hawaii is another example. Next is when we are using it for the duration before something in the past. We can also use past perfect to show that something started in the past and continued up till another action in the past. So examples are here. Duration before something in the past. We had owned our car for 10 years before it finally died. So we are saying that we are giving a duration of time, and we are saying and giving an example of the past. We had owned our car for 10 years before it finally died. So two actions again we are talking about here. The other example is, they had been married for 5 years when they had their first child. So here we are using a duration in the past. Next example is that there's an important note that specific times with the past perfect. Unlike the present perfect tense, it is possible to use specific time words and phrases with the past perfect. Although this is possible, it is usually not necessary, right? So it is possible that we can use it unlike present perfect tense. So for examples, like specific times we're talking about often, right? You can use simple past or past perfect for both the cases, right? For this word, specific time of often. She had visited US once in 2000 before she moved here in 2005. She had visited. So this action has already completed in the past. So it is past perfect. And if we say she visited the US once in 2000 before she moved here in 2005 is simple past tense or past indefinite tense. Next is past perfect tense, and how we are using it is a grammar rule. So what is the syntax of using it? So can you think of a grammar rule here? He had already left when she called. So again, we know that two actions took place. When she called, he had already left. So one was complete and the other completed just that moment. Now in grammar, we have two parts, had plus verb past participle. This means third form of verb we use whenever we are talking of perfect tense, and had for past perfect tense. So use had for all subjects. It can be any subject, whether it is a first form, second form, or third form. We have to use always had when it comes to perfect tense. So, I mean, if it is a negative, if it is in negative form, then had will be accompanied with not, and it will remain the same verb third form. or hadn't and a contractual way plus verb past participle. Example is the teacher hadn't finished correcting papers when the student started to arrive. Right? So hadn't. So we are showing the negative form, but again, both the actions are completing, right? So for more practice, complete each sentence with the past perfect form of the verb given. So let's start practice and go this session. Yes. So this is the first sentence. Karan, in the brackets we have finished making dinner by the time her husband came home. So this is one of the examples. The second example is when I arrived at the store, it dash already. So now we have two different options being given in the brackets, and these options are verbs, and we have to make it past perfect tense. Remember, not only past tense, but we have to make it past perfect. So what could be the answer? These are very simple ones. Karen had finished making dinner by the time her husband came home. So she had finished past perfect using the had with third form of verb finish, finished, finished. Similar goes for the next example as well. When I arrived at the store, it had closed already. So again, we are using had irrespective of what the subject is. Every time we are using or making past perfect tense, we have to add had plus the third form of verb. This is closed, 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 closed. And this completes our session for today. So, dear friends, it's always important that we understand and remember that whenever we are talking about past tense, this means the action has performed, has already been performed, it is completed, the action is over. But if we are using had with the third form of verb, it makes the sentence in past perfect tense. Otherwise, if we are not using had and only using the third form of verb, then it will be simple in past tense or past indefinite tense. I hope with the practice you will definitely be able to write sentences using past perfect tense, and at the same time, if there are some sentence corrections being given to you, you can realize that okay, if one action has completed and the other is just completed or just completed in the recent past, in both the cases you will be using past perfect tense by adding had to the third form of verb. Hope today's session was helpful to you, and you have gained a bit of knowledge on the tenses, different two tenses that we talked about today: past perfect tense and simple past tense. So hope to see you again. Bye bye.